Alright, we're graphing sine. This is our equation. Y equals 3 sine, parentheses, 2x minus pi, close parentheses, plus 1. This is just the equation with the b value, which is 2, taken out to give you the true h value, which is pi over 2. From this, we shall determine a, which is 3, b, which is 2, as has been talked about, and next our h value, pi over 2. And this is not negative pi over 2 because the h value is negative. And you take the negative of the h value, and since this is minus pi over 2, you get positive pi over 2 for your h value. That just means you're translating horizontally to the right by that pi over 2. Next, we find out k, which is 1. Very simple. This basically means we translate vertically up 1 unit, and 1 shall be our new 0, so to speak. And now we want to find out the period in order to do tick marks and just to know how long the period is, because that's useful when you want to graph 2 periods, so you don't graph more or less and you get full points. Our period is just 2 pi over the absolute value of b. Our b is 2, so that means our period is pi. Pretty nice period, pi. And then we can find the tick marks from the period. For this, we use the equation period over 4 to find how the width of the tick marks and what we want them to be. That is pi over 4, and that is how you simplify that. Pi divided by 4. Now, when you want to start knowing what your tick marks become, you want to start with your h value, which in our case is pi over 2. Then for your next tick mark, you add your tick mark width, which is pi over 4. And with that addition, you get 3 pi over 4. And these have been highlighted in red for you, so it is easier to see. And we go next step. For the next tick mark, we get 4 pi over 4, or pi. And we go a step further, 5 pi over 4, keep going, 6 pi over 4, or 3 pi over 2 for your fourth. And then we can start to graph. So first we want to make our new 0, so to speak. This is y equals 1. And from here we can go the 3 up and down has been determined by our amplitude or a value. So we go 1 plus 3 equals 4, which is the highest value of this graph, and 1 minus 3, which is negative 2, which will be the lowest point in the graph. And then we have the tick marks here. We can label what our tick marks should be, and then we can do it on the graph. Notice here how we have pi over 4 as our first value. This is okay when you do this, but make sure when you're actually graphing the points, you do start on the actual h value, otherwise you will be messing it up. Here, that is what we did, because it is sine, it shall start at the 0, or in this case 1, which is our new 0, so to speak. And that is what's happened here, so we did get the h value there, good. Then you go up the furthest to when you go to the right, go back down, and to the lowest point, and go back up. And that's been demonstrated by the dots here. And our next and final step shall be to fill in the lines, or use a line to fill in the dots. It's oscillating forever, so that is why the errors are there. And that is pretty much all. Thank you for watching.